Hi, it's Amanda the Nail Polish Hound. Welcome back to another one of my destash videos. Before we start on today's destash, which is my brown and bronze nail polishes, I wanted to give you an update on one of my earlier ones, and this is the polish that's on my nails in this video. It's Polish Molish Urbis. And I have decided that I'm going to destash this polish. It's too close to my natural skin colour, so at a distance it just looks like I've got black speckles on my nails, so this one is going to be leaving my collection. But I also have a little confession to make, and that is that after filming the white, silver and gold episode, I did restash this polish by A. England, The Heart Desires. When I caught the swatch wheel in the sunlight, actually this one was quite a lot different from the colour club that I kept, so I am now going to be keeping this one as well. Okay, so let's move on to my brown and bronze nail polishes. And we're starting off with my creme polishes, and these are the only ones that I have. So there won't be any destashes here, but I will quickly show them to you. And this first one is by Barry M, and it's called Coca. The second one is this old Princess Nail Lacquer polish, and it's called I'm a Cool Girl. Then we have this OPI, and this one is called Chronological Order. And then finally we have this SE, which is looking a tiny bit purple on camera. I think it has got a little bit of purple in it, and it is called Smokin' Hot. So they're all going to be staying. The next little group I have are sort of bronze and almost rose gold, but not quite rose gold. And I have swatched these ones, so I will show you the swatches as well. And try to put them in the order in which they are similar to each other. This first one is a beautiful Cuccio, and this one is called Eve's Blush. And this is what it looks like on the swatch wheel. The next one is this China Glaze, and it is called Meet Me in the Mirage. Quite an old polish, but really, really pretty. And that's how that one looks on the swatch wheel. And whilst not exactly the same colour, these two are very similar. Just prefer the look of the China Glaze a little bit more against my skin tone. I might put the Cuccio into the pile of polishes waiting to go into my project polish, or I might destash it. I'm not quite sure at the moment. I think I'm going to wear it once before I make up my mind. The next one in this grouping is another China Glaze. This one is called Swatch Out. That is what this one looks like on the swatch wheel. This one is quite pretty. It does suit me, and so I'm going to be keeping this one. I think it's different enough. Then we have another Cuccio, and I think this is probably my favourite Cuccio of all time, and it's called Coffee, Tea or Me. You can guess by the way I'm talking about it that this one will be going nowhere, and that's what this one looks like. It's got a little bit of pink, almost burgundy in it, with those gold glitters, and it's very, very pretty indeed. So this one is going to be staying. And the closest hollow taco that I had in this grouping was Hollow Cappuccino. This is in their crushed hollow formula, and it's a little bit similar to the last polish, but a little bit lighter, and of course a slightly different formula. So of course I'm going to be keeping this one as well. It's very unlikely I'm going to be destashing many of my hollow taco polishes. And the next little grouping that I have are definitely more on the bronze side, especially the first three. And the first one is my one and only Floss Gloss, and this is a glitter polish. It's called Honey. I didn't bother swatching this one because I've got nothing else like it, and this one will be staying in my collection. The next one is another China Glaze, and this one is called Harvest Moon. It is very pretty, but it is a pain to get off your nails. It gets absolutely everywhere. It's tiny, tiny little flakies, and it's very difficult to remove. It's very pretty though. The next one I have is quite similar to that, and it's an OPI polish. This one is called Rising Star, and this one's quite special to me because it was a miniature of this bottle that was given to me by my friend Zoe, and that was what started me on my nail polish journey. So I'm definitely going to be keeping this one, but it's actually pretty similar to the China Glaze, although they don't really look like it in the bottle. When you look at them on the swatch wheel here, you've got the China Glaze here and the OPI here. They are pretty similar, and as this isn't a colour that I would wear very often, I think they're close enough. So I'm going to destash the China Glaze and I'm going to keep the OPI. The next one in this group is a Restored by Polish, and this one is called I Will Rise. I put it here because most of the colour is a sort of browny colour, but it is a multi-chrome and it's also got holographic glitters in it as well. They might be flakies actually. They are fairly large. And this is what this one looks like on the swatch wheel. And you can see in the bottle it has a tendency to look quite yellowy gold at certain angles, and it can also pull green, sort of yellowy green colour. I can see if I can get it to look like that on the swatch wheel for you, if I get it at the right angle. And that shade there does not suit me at all. So sadly, this polish is also going to be destashed. And the last one in this group is actually very similar to the Restored by Polish. This one is by Holo Taco. It's called Tax Haven. And it's quite similar looking. It has tiny little holographic glitters in it. And it has that same sort of multi-chrome effect, but it's more on the red to brown side. And doesn't go as yellow, certainly doesn't have the green in it. And for that reason, I'm happy that I can let the Restored by Polish go. And this is what Tax Haven looks like on the swatch wheel. The next group are all darker brown polishes. The first one of these is another Holo Taco from the Barista collection. This one is called Need I Say Mocha. And this is probably my least favourite from that collection. It has a tiny bit of a green tinge to it, not too much. And I don't really want to break this collection up. So this one will be staying. To excuse the fact that I knocked the swatch wheel, but that's what it looks like. And the next one is an Ada's Nails. This one is called Fireside Stories. And this one does have a little bit of a gold shift in it, but also has a dark red as well. So I'm going to be keeping this one because the dark red does predominate. And that's what this one looks like on the swatch wheel. This one is a Danglefoot nail polish with a really strong linear holographic finish to it. This is I'm Gonna Wreck It. And look at that. That is absolutely stunning. Beautiful nail polish. Definitely going to be keeping this one. And this is what it looks like on the swatch wheel. You can see that fantastic linear holographic flare to this one. And then last in this little group, we've got another Holo Taco Barista polish. This one is Espresso Your Holo. It's the darkest one of that collection, and I do really like this one. It's not quite, but almost black in colour. This is what it looks like on the swatch wheel, and I'm going to be keeping it. And this is the last little lot of my brown polishes. And these are, I think, all fairly dissimilar. At least they look dissimilar in the bottles. The first one is another hollow taco. This one is a glitter polish, full coverage, from their Christmas collection, and it's called Choco Hollow. I love this one. I'm going to be keeping that. Completely different to anything else I have in my collection. Then this one is an old Wicked polish. This is a UK brand that's no longer making nail polish. This one is called Black Gold. Again, a little bit of greenish, goldy greenish tinge to it, but if I remember rightly, this one looked nice, and it is really good for stamping as well. So I'm going to be keeping that. Next, we have got Burnt Bridges from the Dark Rainbow collection by Hollow Taco. I really like this one as well, so this one is staying. Then we have what I think might be an original formula of My Private Jet by OPI. I've had a look online and I think this one looks more holographic than the reformulated one, but I will swatch it in a minute, and if you've got any thoughts on that, please do let me know in the comments below. So I'm also wondering how similar these two might be, although they don't look very similar in the bottle. And I'm also wondering how close this OPI might be to the polishes in the previous grouping, so I'll do a comparison there as well. Before I do that though, we do have this A England. This one is called Mrs. De Winter. This one does look a little bit more purplish. I don't think it's similar, but I might swatch that one too. And finally, we have this Emily de Molly. There was a release of polishes that all had these massive circle glitters in them. This one was called Pressure Tested, and I'm not sure about this polish. When I wore it, those circle glitters did not lay flat on my fingernails. So yeah, I'm gonna let this one go. I'm sure someone else will love it. So this one's going to be leaving my collection. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to swatch the OPI. And see, this one does look sort of more desaturated and a little bit darker than the ones that I did earlier, with no hint of redness in it, just a plain brown. Then we have got the Mrs. De Winter by A England. This one definitely does look more purple. And then we've got Burnt Bridges by Hollow Taco, which I know leans more brown. So we'll put a second coat of these on off camera and top coat them so we can do a proper comparison. So here are those last three swatched. You can see that they are all very different to each other. So I'm going to be keeping them all. So from this destash, I'm going to be getting rid of the three polishes on the right, and I'm going to wear and decide on the Couche on the left. It might go into my project polish, or I might destash that one as well. Keep watching these destashes for further updates, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!